Alright, as you can see, it's 4 o'clock in the morning right now. You can hear the birds chirping. I'm currently in the garden at my parents' house, but I'm super pumped right now because this is gonna be the video where I tell you the story of how I became McLaren's Formula 1 videographer. And to tell this story properly, I've planned a full day of shooting, hence why I'm up at this time. I'm gonna catch the sunrise, so this is gonna rise within the next 20 minutes. It looks sick, so let's get into the car and start shooting.
I don't wanna say hello, yeah. Think I'm better on my own, yeah. Say goodbye. No, I won't pick up the phone, yeah. Kinda like being, yeah. I kinda like being alone.
Yo!
Hello douchebags.
Jag är engelska eller?
Jag vet inte.
Calibrate the drone. Let's just do it. Yo. Yeah. Sounds good. Here he goes. Kör genom skogen. So this is gonna be the intro sequence to the video. So we're just flying the drone right now. First flight of the day done.
Where are we going now, Henrik?
We're going to the next location on the same area. Right, Joe, follow us.
Let's go!
Alright, let's do this!
Did you get it?
I think I got it. Let's do one more. We lost the drone. Can you see it, Joel?
The drone?
I can see it. I mean, I hope we didn't crash it. I mean, this is life, isn't it? I just love being outside in the nature
And crash drones.
and crash drones. Listen to this. It's completely silent. Where's the drone? Found it! Woo-hoo! We got it back. The beast. I think it lost the signal and then it just landed and it couldn't take off again because of the grass, so we got it back. Right, it's 7 a.m. We just took a little bit of a coffee break, so we parked the car down there. And I mean, look at this. I love being in the woods like this. And I think this is a good opportunity to jump into how I got the job while I sip on my black coffee. And it's a fairly basic answer, to be honest. At the time, I had lived in London for 6 months and I moved there because I wanted to increase my opportunities in the film industry. But what actually got me there was film school. So in film school, I wasn't too stretched, so I felt like I could do more to improve. So I started looking for freelance work and video projects outside of school in my spare time to keep pushing and keep doing more. And I can only speak for myself, but in life we constantly have to make decisions, big or small. Every single day there are new paths to take, and sometimes the best decisions are the ones we simply make because they force us to keep moving and they give us the opportunity to to grow and learn from what we do. Look at this, I found this 6-ball. I think I'm gonna record the last bit here by the lakeside. Oh. Right, I hope this is framed okay, but I took all my previous work and I created a portfolio website to showcase what I've done before. And I started applying for video production jobs online. Not all of them were as attractive as McLaren, but it wasn't about getting the job, it was about getting a job that would keep me moving forward. So all of that applying led to interviews. And I had no idea that McLaren would find interest in me because I had no previous motorsport experience, but I knew of McLaren. And luckily the first interview led to a second, and then I got the job offer, which was incredible. And I think what I learned from all of that is that there are 3 things that you have to take responsibility of, and that is what you produce, who you work with, and how you present yourself. And the work you produce is so important, but it's equally important to show the person behind all of it. So who are you? And you have to own all of that. The rest is a little bit out of your control, and it shouldn't occupy your mind too much. I think I've spent a little bit too much time out here by myself, so I gotta head back to the car so they don't get worried. But what I think is important to know here is that I didn't limit myself to a specific job. You've got to keep your options wide open and choose the path that will benefit you the most in improving your own skills. But I don't think the question should be how I became McLaren's videographer. It's a little bit narrow and it's a fairly slim question. I think why I became McLaren's videographer is a little bit more interesting, so let me explain. Where are we headed, Joe? Headed to the Wraps. The Wraps. The yellow field. Exactly. Here we go. Look at this. Disaster. Right, slight disaster. This field a week ago was bright yellow with these flowers. Now it's a little bit too dead and green. So we gotta think of a plan B. So let's do it. Hey Joe, where are we going?
Going to Mölle.
Alright, plan B.
Plan B.
Just parked the car, made it to Mölle. Yep, let's hike up. Alright, so the why is a little bit more complicated, and I gotta rewind the tape back to the beginning to reflect on my actions that took me from no experience to end up traveling the world with McLaren. And the first thing that springs to mind is that my goal was never to end up where I am today. I was always focused on creating the best possible video with the tools and skills that I had at the time, and asked myself, how can I educate myself and improve my skills to become better and get bigger clients and more interesting opportunities. And in the beginning, I didn't consciously think this way, but now I know that the only way to learn something and get better at something is by doing it over and over and over again. You've got to practice. If you wanna run a marathon, you gotta go out and run. There's no way around it, and the more work you put in, the better you'll become at something. It's getting a little bit hot, so I'm gonna try to move location closer to the ocean. One sec.
the record, gear doesn't matter at all. I think everyone says it, but it's so true. Use whatever tool you've got. If it's your phone or a GoPro is a fantastic camera to start off with. There's also free editing softwares online and a million YouTube tutorials. Use all of it, it's gonna help you so much. Now I'm at a point where I'm fortunate enough to have some really good gear to work with, but that wasn't always the case. The most important thing is that you practice and also tell a good story, because that is what actually matters. One of the best tips I have, and something that I did myself, was that I offered my services for free. And it's an incredible way to work with companies while removing the financial pressures, but it also gives you the reference that you look a little bit more professional, that you work with a company, and it builds your portfolio. Once I had made a few projects for free, I used that experience to eventually got paid projects. And in the beginning, I got paid very little for the amount of time that I spent on the projects, but I remember how stoked I was. Just getting $100 for the first time was amazing. And what I did on all the projects, all the way up to $1,000, is that I used that money to invest in either renting better equipment or buying cheap equipment so that I could produce a better product. And that's the thing. You have to invest time and money into yourself so that you become better. Even I get intimidated and unsure of what I have to do to move forward. And I can tell you this, I've never been sure of any of the decisions I've made along the way. I'm constantly in conflict, I keep doubting myself, I still do to this day. That never disappears, for me anyway. And it's only now that I can look back and say there's only one thing that I've been sure of along the way, and that is that I love what I'm doing. You've got to enjoy what you're doing, because otherwise you won't stay true to yourself and you won't endure in the long run. I guess that's it. All right, let's go. Joe!
Yeah,
How you doing?
really good.
Living life.
Living life for sure.
I was sitting right down there. Look at this view. Should we fly the drone? Dave,
Let's go.
let's go. We gotta head back.
Let's head back.
Let's head back. All right, we're heading back to the car. And this is why I love taking my camera out to shoot. I just wanna create. If I could do anything with my time, this is exactly what I would be doing. I wanna tell stories, I wanna keep making videos, and this is exactly how I got started in the beginning. I just went out to shoot. And today is a pretty good reference back to what I talked about earlier. You've got to practice, you've got to go out and shoot and enjoy yourself. Today hasn't gone to plan at all. We almost lost a drone at one point. We have an SD card that is broken, and we scouted multiple locations before this, but when we got to them today, they weren't what we thought they would be. But that shouldn't put you down, because it's all about enjoying yourself and having fun. And if you can do that, if you can find something that you enjoy doing, that is what's going to keep you going in the long run. So I think that's going to wrap up this video for today. Joe has been waiting for me. This was actually the 5th take of that sequence, but I had to get it right. And I'm tired.
Completely out of breath.
Completely out of breath. So let's go.
I don't wanna say it, but it's true. I really wanna fall in love with you. So in love with everything you do.
I've been thinking about what I want this channel to represent, and it's probably gonna have to be something that I figure out over time, but for now I want it to be a call to action. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to create something. It could be anything, it doesn't have to be a video, but I want you to use whatever tools you have and let this video be your first step. And to make it a little bit more interesting, for the next 30 days, if you want to, you can submit your art with the hashtag ArtInProgressHR, or if you want to send it privately, send it to this email or DM me directly on Instagram. And I'm gonna do my best to review, give feedback, and hopefully share your art with this community. And bear in mind, I'm not a professional in all these fields. I still view myself as someone that has just started off with video and photography, but I encourage all of you to connect with each other. And I would love this to become a community where we can share our thoughts, become better creators, make something meaningful, and hopefully we can impact others. I have a few ideas on how I want to do that in the future, but I'm not sure when I can execute all my ideas, so stay tuned for that. And finally, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed any part of it, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, and if you have any more questions, please drop them in the comments below or DM me on Instagram. I'll do my best to answer all of them, I promise. I guess that's it. Peace.
I don't wanna say it, but it's true. I really wanna fall in love with you. So in love with everything you do. Yeah. I wish that there was something I could say to make you change your plans and maybe stay. Cause everyone that all that fades away.